The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. My name is Matthew Carleo, and I'm a Channel Sales Manager here at Sana Commerce. Today, we're going to present 5 reasons you need e-commerce built for Microsoft Dynamics. As we all know, the B2B e-commerce marketplace is maturing, and customer demands are outpacing what businesses currently have to offer. The technology that supports your customers must not only catch up to today's demands, but also continue to add value as expectations change. So again, my name is Matt Carleo, and I'm a Channel Sales Manager here at Sana Commerce. Our agenda for today is the 5 frustrations impacting e-commerce products. Today, we'll cover the low total cost of ownership of a product like Sana and some of the hidden costs that you might find with a less integrated solution, our architecture and R&D investment, our ability to deliver a product on time and quickly to market, our ability to scale our solution to meet your demands, and the ease of upgrade for Sana Commerce. So a little bit about Sana. Sana is an integrated e-commerce provider. Our solution is tailor-made for Microsoft Dynamics. Our global headquarters is located in the Netherlands, but we do have a US headquarters located in New York City. Sana has approximately 350 employees worldwide with support resources located here in the United States and Colombia. Of those 350 employees, approximately 100 of them are development resources, which is important as we talk about our product being a SaaS-based product and some of the exciting developments that come a little further down the line in future releases of our product. So with that said, Sana's vision is to help companies reach their full potential and future-proof their organization. We realize that oftentimes taking the first step is the hardest part, which is why we built an e-commerce solution that leverages Dynamics. Clients call us each day looking to improve the way they service their clients as they work in a world where digital transformation is fundamentally changing how they operate. According to our latest research, 36% of B2B businesses are reporting that they're seeing an increased presence in their domestic competitors, and just over a third of them are seeing increased competition from international competitors. And still, most are responding to this competitive pressure by just simply dropping prices. As long as businesses are focused on keeping up with competitors rather than forging a new path, B2B e-commerce will continue to evolve slowly rather than revolutionize the ways these businesses achieve their business success. This is particularly important as price becomes less important than the quality of their experience. Customers today are reporting that they would pay 16% more for the same products and services to get a better customer experience. 52% report that they pay more for greater e-commerce speed and efficiency, and of them, 43% would pay more for greater convenience. At Sana, we help future-proof B2B e-commerce with a more forward-thinking, customer, and data-centric approach. So how do we do this? Our solution is integrated directly into your ERP, which is your single source of truth. We use your ERP to drive the data and features and functionality and the product information that appear in your web store, so the data is always accurate and always updated in real time. I'd like to switch gears a little bit and talk about our customer success with Moto Direct. Moto Direct was one of the leading motorcycle and clothing and accessory manufacturers and distributors based in the UK. Its portfolio includes some of the largest market brands. Initially, as a simple buy and sell distributor, Moto grew to become a much more complex business involved in both manufacturing and brand development. They had a pretty specific challenge. Moto Direct was experiencing rapid growth in its existing B2B e-commerce website, which was both outdated and lagging behind its competitors. It was holding the business back. The company needed a new B2B web store integrated with Microsoft Dynamics, which was due to launch at roughly the same time. The company's goal was to improve the web store performance, design, and usability, make it easy for B2B customers to place large, complex orders, allow its customers to access their account and order information, and self-service, This was one of the biggest projects undertaken by the company. Initially, it had chosen Magento as its e-commerce solution. Some of the obstacles with implementing Magento included the cost of customizations. B2B doesn't do, or Magento doesn't do B2B natively, so there was a lot of customization that was required in order to make that functionality meet the business's needs. This meant additional development, which added time, cost, and complexity, and really held the project back. When integrating Magento with Microsoft Dynamics, the business logic and process already stored in the ERP had to be replicated in Magento. From complex pricing in real time, accurate inventory information, and a lot of additional development manual work was needed to synchronize the data between the ERP and Magento. This would not only prove to be an issue during the implementation, but it would also require constant maintenance after the web store was launched, with specific resources dedicated to maintaining accurate data online. Despite having already invested a lot of time and money in Magento, Moto Direct made a very difficult decision to find a new provider, and they switched to Sana Commerce. And here's what made that decision a little bit easier. The unexpected cost with Sana would be removed from the project, as Sana has a low monthly payment associated with it. The product would be fully connected to their new ERP solution. Sana can deliver a working integration back to the ERP and get a stand up a website in roughly 90 days. And we'd give them the ability to scale their solution. Sana Commerce hosts in Microsoft Azure, and we can scale out that architecture there to meet the customer's needs and demands of inbound traffic. And as the customer looks to upgrade their ERP in the future, Sana would be able to upgrade along with them. Essentially, they'd be able to just unplug the web services connected into their current ERP and plug them into the next one and be ready to roll immediately. So as we talk about the total cost of ownership of a product like Sana, you'll see, as we looked at, as we look at Moto Direct as an example, that we're able to reduce cost, increase efficiency, and increase global orders. Moto Direct was able to come back from a Boston implementation with Magento and not only complete their project ahead of schedule, but with Sana, they estimate that it'll cost them 50% less time to stand up the site. And because of our integration with their ERP system, their customers can quickly look for product specifications, a tracking number, or a recent shipment, or a copy of their latest statement, all directly in the web store. With no prior experience with this type of product, Moto Direct underestimated the complexity of implementing a product like Magento. The project quickly fell behind schedule and over budget and received poor feedback from internal stakeholders. This in turn significantly delayed the launch of a new ERP system, which was a huge investment for this company. As Magento isn't a pure B2B platform, there were many missed features, and this meant additional development was needed, which would add time, cost, and complexity, and really began to hold the project back. Although the team would likely have made the switch to Sana Commerce, it was the ongoing integration cost and improved functionality with Sana that made sense to them. Moto Direct also recognized that continuing with Magento would lead to a web store that would not have offered an excellent customer experience the company had prided itself on. Despite having already invested a lot of time and money, Moto Direct made the decision to move to Sana because of our ultimately lower total cost of ownership. Reason number two that it made sense for a company like Moto Direct to make the switch was our architecture and our investment in R&D. Sana Commerce, as I mentioned, has over 100 employees working on the product. As a SaaS-based solution, it's really important that our product keeps up with future developments in e-commerce. I think, if you look at a website that was developed even maybe 2 or 3 years ago, you can already begin to see that products like that are showing its age. Customers expect a, seamless transition and integrations to just work. So as we look at, things like Amazon Pay and, having a seamless checkout process, Sana integrates with all of that. As we look at, what a typical architecture looks like, you could see it looks a little something like this, where maybe a customer wants to stand up both a B2B web store and a public-facing web store, so more of a retail environment. With a typical implementation like Magento, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, many of the other integrated solutions, you would have to develop 2 separate front ends, which means you need to manage and maintain 2 separate CMSs. Additionally, you also have to manage things like sales tax, payment processing, and shipping. And then there would be essentially 2 different shopping cart partners, which are, e-commerce databases, where you would need to manage your product, you would need to manage your customers, and things like inventory, terms, and trade agreements would all need to be manually built in and manually maintained. Additionally, all of these solutions would require the addition of a piece of middleware to then synchronize those orders back into Microsoft Dynamics. As you can see here, there's many points of failure, and it's a lot of added complexity. Sana's philosophy is fundamentally different. We're more agile. Maintaining your ERP means that you're maintaining your web shop. Your existing employees today are already maintaining price. They're already maintaining your customers' information and the business logic associated with that, like volume pricing or extended pricing. Once that is built back into the ERP, Sana simply picks it up and pulls it out. So when your customers visit the web store, their experience is highly personalized to them. In terms of R&D investment, we have an extensive focus on design capabilities. We're moving our CMS to a visual designer, and additionally, we're adding what is called a progressive web application. A progressive web application will allow your customers to visit your website and be prompted to pin that site to their application tray. So essentially what we're saying is that your B2B e-commerce website could be in the applications next to, that person's Angry Birds application, which will have a significant impact on the ability for them to come back and do things like reordering. It makes it a much more seamless process for them to do now. Additionally, we're very quick to get out into the market. Sana can deploy our solution in as quickly as 40 to 60 days. It's like a very quick implementation for us. On average, we see about projects running 90 to 100 days. And as we look at what Moto Direct's experience was, which was a 90-day deployment, this was 4 times faster than a failed Magento implementation. Sana also has the ability to scale to meet your customers' needs. With high order volume reliability, Sana scalability is virtually limitless, as our software provides the freedom to scale up or down according to your needs. One of the greatest advantages is that Sana takes care of it and is always monitoring your site's performance. When your web store receives a high volume of visitors, performance can be scaled vertically with more hardware or horizontally with additional servers. In either scenario, a Sana web store ensures seamless functionality during peak times. Additionally, with our ability to do load balancing, we ensure the optimal use of your servers. We can guarantee a reliable, speedy experience for your customers while shopping on your store. Part of this is because of our front-end architecture. With things like lazy loading, this allows images to load in the background while the main page loads in real time. Additionally, Sana will have the header and footer as a piece of cached, so we only need to load essentially the middle of the page and things that the customer expects to see right away. And finally, Sana can guarantee your uptime with Microsoft Azure architecture. It means we're able to create an optimal architecture for hosting Sana Commerce web stores. Sana offers a complete installation that is both safe, stable, and in continuous operation. We have the ability to scale our sites. With Sana, no matter how your back office is structured, you can easily create separate websites for different brands with just one Sana installation. You can manage all of your sites with a single admin login and easily toggle between your various environments, regardless if your brands are tied to multiple companies in your ERP or just one. E-commerce enables you to expand your reach, but you have to be prepared to go beyond that. Whether you're scaling up or down, you need to leave yourself room for growth so your business isn't stagnant, or worse, paying a ton of extra costs to retrofit a solution on the fly to let you scale. This means having a scalable solution that gives you the flexibility to have more stores, multiple selling models, and the ability to sell direct to consumer, should that be your goal. With Sana, no matter how your back office is structured, you can easily create separate websites for different brands with just one Sana installation. You can manage all of your sites with a single login and easily toggle between your various environments, regardless of if your brands are tied to multiple companies in your ERP or just one. Improving your e-commerce offering means big things for your business. It means you're not only driving more sales on another effective channel, you're also meeting your customer demand, boosting internal efficiency, and setting up your business to seamlessly grow and scale. As your business scales, you can ensure a strong experience where your customers can leverage self-service by way of the Sana customer portal. In terms of our ability to do things like upgrading, are often questions that we hear. If a project has no customizations, it's very easy for us to upgrade you from one version of, say, GP to the next version of GP in roughly 1 to 3 days. As I mentioned before, it's just a matter of us disconnecting your web services from one ERP, installing them in the next, and cutting over. There's no need to essentially throw the baby out with the bathwater with your whole front-end website or any kind of extensive rebuild or re-implementation for Sana. In general, one version to the next, there's very little for business owner to have to do, as a matter of fact. These are essentially minor changes to us. So at this point, I'd like to switch gears a little bit and go into an actual demo of our product. Here is one of our Sana Commerce's demo environments. Currently, I have this hooked up to Microsoft Navision. When Sana deploys our product, we can deploy in a single website both a B2B and a B2C solution. So as you see now, we would consider this more of a B2C solution. As I go into my product hierarchy, we'll see essentially retail pricing coming over from Microsoft Navision. But as I log in to a customer, I can log in as Dave, who is your sort of prototypical B2B buyer. The experience out on the web will now be completely dedicated to him, right? It's this idea of hyper-personalization. So you're going to notice some things on the site, some changes on the site that are both sort of big and small. One of them is customer-specific pricing. If Dave has terms, a trade agreement associated with his account, or he is associated with a specific price list, or if you're using in GP things like extended pricing, that will be shown out to your customer, right? So when they log in, Sana makes a call back into GP to get all of that customer's information. As I go out into the front end, you'll notice that we're going to make some changes to the types of content elements that we're going to serve up to him. So rather than showing him, the image of the cell phone or the turntables that I had out here before, now I'm showing him laptops because we know Dave likes to buy laptops. As I scroll down, we're also treating Dave as an individual. So thank you, Dave Dollar, for logging in, and thank you for being a great customer. As I scroll down, you'll see these other content elements on here on the page. We make it incredibly easy for even a very junior resource like an intern to create a very beautiful, powerful, easy to manage and maintain website. So out here, I'll show you one of the tools that we can use to build these sites up. Here I have a product called the Insight Editor. The Insight Editor essentially strips apart the website into these different content elements and allows you to make changes to them. So here I'll edit the current page. As you can see here are the content elements that build up the first page that we see when we land on the site. Here's that picture of the hero image with the turntables. As I go down, we can see here's the laptop sliders for Dave. So I can apply different content and I can apply different customer segmentation here for these different content elements. Or as you can see here, I can apply these content elements to run for a certain date range, or I can apply these for actual individual users themselves. So anytime, a customer, like for instance, with the customer segmentation tool, every customer that lives in the state of California can have specific content elements served up specifically for them. Or maybe it's customers in Canada get served up, this content element, while customers in the United States only get this content element. We make it very easy for you to build that up here. Simply click Add New Content Element, and then drag and drop that content element to where you would like it to appear on the page. When you open these content elements, it's no code required. Simply copy and paste in the text that you'd like to appear on the site, and it will appear. Here, we can open a code view. Sana is flexible in the sense that, if you do have design resources or you want to go hire additional design resources to come in and more finely tune the site, we can open up the code view for you. Additionally, Sana can be deployed in multi-language, but one of the really nice features of our CMS is the ability to go over any Sana content element and make changes to it. So here we have product name or item number in the search bar. But let's say that we want to change that to just simply reflect product. You click Save Changes, and that change is now deployed out on the site. It makes it very simple to make these very easy changes as opposed to having to hire somebody to come in and hard code these into your website. At this point, I'll shut off my CMS and the content management solution, and we can walk through placing a simple B2B order. So in this instance, I'm logged in as Dave, and Dave is a B2B buyer. Dave can come in through the product hierarchy to begin to look for products, or what he can do is he can go into the search bar. The search bar uses a wildcard search with both leading and trailing, which means if I start typing in, say, shirt, I'll find every product in my product catalog that has shirt in it. Additionally, if I was to start putting in numbers, I can also pull in things like SKU numbers. So any shirt with the SKU that has 43 in it. So we'll go ahead and select this one. And then add that item to the cart. As you can see here, we're also showing things like availability. Sana makes a real-time call out into the ERP to return stock. Additionally, we're showing item variant here. So, this shirt comes in small, medium, large, and extra large. So you can add, using the item variant table, multiple products of the same type. As I go in to view my shopping cart, we make it very easy for your B2B buyer to build a shopping cart directly from the cart. So here I'll go ahead and add in another shirt. And in this time, I'm going to add in a double XL, and we'll add 2 of those. Or what we could do is, instead of using the item variant, perhaps we want to use unit of measure. So maybe you want your customers to select by the each or the case or the pallet. Whatever your unit of measure is back in the ERP, Sana will pick that up and display it out here. As I do an overview of my shopping cart, you'll notice that there's a service charge here. So this is great and particularly useful for customers, perhaps in the food and beverage industry, where they want an item to ship cold, so they can add a $5 cold pack charge. Perhaps like they're, in the the chemicals industry, so hazardous shipping materials, you can add in additional service charges for that as well. Here we allow your B2B buyer to save these off as a template. So you can create a shopping cart, and we'll call this my parts order, which is a fairly popular one. and we'll save that off and then empty the shopping cart. And so now when Dave comes back, he can go to his My Account section, and we'll see that his My Order templates is sitting out here for him. And you can create as many of these order templates as you'd like. Simply select which one you'd like, click OK, and those items are all now back out into the shopping cart. From here, we make it very simple to proceed through to a checkout. So Sana supports both quote as well as creating a new sales order. Here I'll go through and I'll create a new sales order. Sana has this set up right now as a 3-step checkout. We can create a unique checkout for individual customer types. So perhaps one customer gets a 3-step checkout, whereas another customer type receives like a 1-step checkout. This is a very configurable piece of our platform. Here we have the ability to capture things like a new shipping address or a new delivery address. But it's also important to note that when Dave logged in, Sana took a look back at his current billing address and his current delivery address. So we're pulling that information through to make it very easy for Dave to check out again. Here, Sana natively integrates with UPS, FedEx, DHL, USPS, as well as many others. Really any of the major carriers like Canada Post or Purolator to bring in shipping. Because Sana knows your item's weight and dimensional weight, we can return a real-time shipping cost. Additionally, if you have your tax tables built back in GP, Sana is picking up that information as well and pulling it straight through to the website. Or we have a native integration with tax payment engines like Avalara. Here, we can capture things like a PO number, or perhaps we want to send this to the back delivery gate or shipping instructions. And here we can even capture a requested delivery date. Here I'll go ahead and overview the order, accept the terms and conditions, and submit the order. So as quickly as that just happened, this order is now ready to print, pack, and ship back in your ERP. And I know that because as I go to the order overview page, I see the order number. Sana never generates an order number. Sana pulls that information directly over from the ERP to display here. Additionally, the order overview page is fully dynamic. So as things change back in the ERP, like order status from going to pending to shipped, it will change out here as well. If you add in, say a UPS number, Sana can add another tab down here and display that out. We find that this dramatically reduces the inbound telephone calls, business receipts. It's this idea that we want to begin to automate the process for your customers and allow them to self-service. Here we also make it incredibly easy to do things like reorder. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and place this as a reorder. And what we do is we can add these items back into the shopping cart. So every time an item hits the shopping cart with Sana Commerce, we do a calculate basket. A calculate basket is essentially us making a real-time call out into the ERP. So this is particularly useful. So when a customer comes in here and does a reorder from perhaps an order that they placed 10 years ago, if the price has changed in the interim, Sana will display out the price that's listed today. Here, instead of placing another order, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and receive this as a quote. Sana supports quote to order. So I'll go ahead and place this quote real quick. And then when Dave comes and logs in, he can go to his quote page. Here we see we have the ability to then convert this to an order. Here, this is prompting me to pay on account. So Sana has access to the terms and trade agreement of a customer. We can go ahead and place this by account. And as you see here, this set a trigger for us to stop the order because Dave happens to be $7 million over his credit limit. So here we can then soft navigate him over to his invoicing section. When we go over to our invoices, you'll see these are all the outstanding invoices for Dave. Here he can come in, select which invoices he'd like, view their details, and then click Pay. From there, you have the ability to integrate in different payment service providers. So in the Sana admin panel, under our applications, Sana as an extension point has different payment service providers you can select from. As a matter of fact, over 30. So whether the customer wants to use Amazon Pay and use their wallet from Amazon, or products like Authorize.net or Aiden are available to you. Additionally, as we scroll down, there are some other options to come in. So let's say you're a company that has highly configurable products and you use Econ or Explogix. You can bring in Econ or Explogix here by simply clicking install, entering your login credentials, and then configuring that out on our website. We make it incredibly simple. Perhaps you have a PIM like in River. Again, these are extension points that you can bring into Sana. One of the other features that Sana has is the ability for your internal salespeople to represent a customer. So at this point, I'm going to switch gears briefly and log out as Dave, and I can log back in as sales. When I log in as sales, you'll see I have a feature here called Represent a Customer. When I go to Represent a Customer, every customer that is associated with Steve Selwell, the salesperson, is made available here. I can go in and I'll select Spotsmeyer Furnishing, which is the company that Dave works for. And now all of the features and benefits that Dave has had he logged in himself are made available to a salesperson. He can go in into the My Account section. He can see if the customer has any outstanding invoices. He can create a quote. He can begin a return order, look at his order templates and create new order templates for them, and service this customer in a way that makes sense. Here we'll go in and view some recent orders. Because Sana isn't just showing all e-commerce orders, Sana is looking back at every order from yesterday to the beginning of time for this customer. We make it very easy for them to find. So as I mentioned, we just click reorder and we can go through this same, proceed to checkout process again. Just another way Sana makes it easy for your salespeople to service their clients. So at this point, end the the demonstration. And if anybody ever has any additional questions, feel free to give me a call at 978-500-5473, and I'd be happy to talk with you. Or you can shoot me an email at m.carleo@sana-commerce.com. Thank you for your time today. Goodbye.